If you need the water, check the beaches in the Carolinas. If you need the mountains, try the Appalachian Trail. If you need the redwood trees, gotta go to Yosemite. If you need me, 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 I'll be in Kansas City.
Welcome to Kansas City Limits Radio. Today we're in the studio with the Underdogs. Do you know this band? You're going to in just a few moments. We're going to find about them, their story, and what makes them tick and what they're playing these days. But before we get there, let's say hello to birthday boy J.E. Cornwell.
Hello, one and all. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. Actually, John, you and I have been going a long time trying to get this thing put together.
Yes.
So thank you for being here.
You bet. Thank you.
Robert, tell the folks how we do this.
Sure will. I'm Robert Bierce. I'm your host here on Kansas City Limits, and we want to thank the folks that make this programming available. And without them, you'd just be here, me and Jay talk to each other. So first of all, Kansas City RVs voted 2023's favorite RV dealer in Kansas City by the Kansas City Star. Tremendous. AMPR, Area Musicians Promotional Resource, a non-for-profit organization. Black Moon Media, LLC, photography, videography for Magical Souls, and there are Kansas City Limits executive producers with our TV show. We also want to thank Open Mortgage, where better is possible, and owning a home is better than renting. Knuckleheads KC, a music joint since 2001, voted #1 music venue in Kansas City by the Kansas City Magazine. We love Frank. Kansas City Limits TV and radio, we are a dual media supporting Kansas City local musicians and much more. Check us out. You'll find us at Kansas City Limits TV and radio. Soundworks Recording Studio, where this program you're listening to, Kansas City Limits, is recorded in Blue Springs for over 20 years. S&S Printing, a commercial printing and design company. B4 Productions, creating commercials and videos. They'll bring your ideas to life. Midwest Music Foundation, giving local musicians the care they deserve. And thanks for joining us today on Kansas City Limits Radio.
Outstanding, Robert. Attaboy. Well, guys, again, thanks again for being here. We have got a whole lot to discuss. I'm guessing, John, you had the task of filling out this booking form.
I did. I hope you guys can read it.
Pretty
too,
good
by the
penmanship.
way.
I was
It's
going to
kind of
brag
like-
about it. I mean,
Well done. I can read everything.
Absolutely.
good.
Absolutely.
I sometimes I read better on paper than I can on the website, just because my eyes are fucked up.
And if
all the
people
time.
send us and we
Yeah.
can't read it, me and Jay just make up our own shit.
That's a great idea, too.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I did, too.
Looks like their
And all the
influences are Elton
members.
John and Judas Priest.
That's right.
No, let's go.
Okay.
All right. So you guys been around a while, right?
Yeah.
John, tell us a little bit about the band, when you guys formed, and how you guys are promoting yourselves and all that kind of stuff.
How did it happen?
Sure. So actually, the Underdogs was kind of spawned out of a group called the Visitors that Mike and I were in for a while. And
that's
that was
Mike.
Mike Dobbins right there.
Dobbins.
And so we were an original band 20 years ago and used to play frequently at a place called Third Street Pub, which was down in downtown Lee Summit. And what was great about that place is that Shirley, the owner, only insisted on original bands.
Wow.
So it was like,
God bless Shirley.
It was so great to be able to just have that kind of opportunity to do that without, having to always play covers, even though, we do play covers and stuff too. But it was really great that she had the guts to do it.
Yeah.
And but basically Mike and I were in a band called the Visitors for quite a while. And then our bass player and drummer passed away, and that kind of put things on hiatus for a while. And
What year was that when that happened?
that was probably 10 years ago or something like that. And then kind of fast forward a little bit from that, I had actually met Nick Fakis and John Ketterer in another band called Axe to Grind, which was just a cover band, which kind of fizzled out a little bit. But I remember the Underdogs were just kind of starting to come back up. We were getting some contact with Connie saying, hey, we need some bands to play Oktoberfest, and we want you guys to play some original music and stuff like that. And I remember approaching Nick, just thinking, oh, he's probably going to say, only knowing him for not too long, I'd say, hey, Nick, you want to play a original band and learn 15 songs in about, 1 hour or something like that. And
no sweat.
Sure, no problem.
He's like, hell yeah. I think actually he dropped the F-bomb, yes. And
that's great.
And so, but that's kind of how that came about. And we got Mike back in, and John Ketterer was a drummer for us for quite a while, actually. And then he moved out to Colorado. And luckily, John Dobbins right here has stepped in and done a really, really good job. So,
who's the younger? Who's the older brother?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest. All
I'm
right.
the youngest.
The wisest.
He's the
Yes,
oldest of
yes.
5. I'm the youngest of 5.
He didn't bully you into this, did he?
Oh no. The way I got into this was when I was 22 years old. Before that, the band that he was in, I was running lights.
Oh, wow.
That kind of fizzled. A couple of years later, my phone
The
rings.
lights or the band?
Both.
Yeah.
The band.
Sorry.
And my phone rings at 2:00 in the morning, and it's my drunk brother and the other drunk guitar
nice.
player informing me that they want to get another band together and they want me to be the drummer.
So did it go like this? They go, John, you're not going to believe this. We've been thinking, listen here, listen.
Yeah.
We're going to rock some people's asses off. Are you in?
It was almost that.
Okay.
And so I was kind of like, yeah, call me in the morning. And I was like, but I don't play drums. I hadn't
You're
played.
going to learn.
So, and that's what we did.
Exactly.
We
That's
pieced
what he
together a
did.
drum set, which I'm still playing. And
Cool.
I put on the headphones, and I had the set list to learn. And I started going. I don't know how to do any of the rudiments or any of that kind of fancy drum line stuff. And a year later, we're sitting on the Uptown Theater stage in front of 1,000 people, opening up a show for a guy named Randy Hansen doing a Jimi Hendrix act.
Wow.
And,
Great.
And then when they'd have the other bands, it was nice because I'd go sit in with the visitors and stuff. So I didn't have to practice, load equipment, tear down anything. I just came in and drank and sat up and played and then left.
Nice.
He had
Wow.
the, he had the good
playing
life.
Were you playing something before?
No,
No. So this was your
Never.
first instrument was the drums and how you joined the band.
mm-hmm.
Well,
That's great.
That
Because
is a good story.
he used to listen to me taking my sister's hairbrushes and doing the drum rolls in that Grand Funk song, Grand Funk Railroad or whatever. Closer, give me something. No, whatever. Closer to home.
Oh, yeah.
It takes some brushes, a 2 a.m. phone call, and a great gig to get the juices flowing.
I always wanted to. It's just that gave me the push.
Well, good. All right, so let's back to the band itself, the original band, and now we have John Irons, and you play
guitar.
the rhythm.
We Mike and I switch off between
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Just guitar and vocals.
And then Nick.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, Nick. Welcome.
Thanks.
What do you play?
I play bass. I also sing some leads too. So
Ah, got the sweet
co-vocalist
voice.
with John and Mike. And but yeah, and I mean, back when I first met John Irons in a band called Axe to Grind, I was just strictly bass. He was like, "You should try singing while you play." I was like, "I can't do both. I can't pat my pat my belly and rub my head or whatever it is." At the same time, he was like, "Just try it." And I mean, the rest is history. Now, we spread it out pretty well with sharing vocal duties, the three of us. So, but yeah,
nice.
but yeah, playing bass at the same time, trying to do my best to do the Geddy Lee Lemmy kind of thing. So
Excellent.
Sure.
Excellent.
And then Mike,
And cool
Mike
shirt, by the
Dobbins.
way. He's wearing an Incubus shirt for those that can't see it. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
nice.
rocking and
I
roll.
actually just sorry,
No.
I just because I knew some of their stuff like the hits. I don't know what persuaded me like a month ago maybe. I was like, you know what, let's try some other some of their earlier stuff, and they're like definitely in my top 5 now.
That's
I
cool.
didn't know that how far back they went, and trying some other things out besides just the hits, and yeah, it's pretty awesome.
You know what Incubus stands for, don't you?
Oh gosh, yeah, no, I don't actually.
If you don't, that's right. Because when I read it, I was like, how perverted. It's a ghost that sleeps with you.
Oh, you're kidding.
I swear to you. It's a ghost that sleeps with you. So, like, since we're on the eve of Halloween, I thought I'd give that as a public service announcement.
Yeah.
That would be-
yeah,
safety
that's great.
message,
There's
right?
nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Ghostbusters, when that
That's a
woman
friendly
is floating
ghost.
above
Oh, yes.
Dan Aykroyd's
Yeah.
bed.
Sigourney
and his
Weaver.
and Dan Aykroyd, yeah, that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah, she was
Oh, I
hot.
love it. Yeah.
She still is if she's listening.
Okay, Mike, let's, so you were called, tell us how this connection between you and John Irons.
Is it 2 a.m.?
Yeah. John and I actually met at a St. Matthew's church picnic, almost back in another lifetime, it seems
my
like
God,
now.
that
And
was a
we
long
started
time
playing
ago.
together. I went over his house one night, and he had an original song that we still play, and I had this guitar part from another song that I did. And it's like, hey, I think I got something that'll fit right in there.
Cool.
And kind of fit well, and we just started going from there. Went through with a couple different bands, had a little downtime. And then once we've kind of started this back up, we've tried to promote it, work into some more originals, because that's kind of iffy when you're in clubs. But
Sure.
a lot of them are upbeat, danceable songs, good melodies. And so we're just right now trying to keep that going. We're not looking to be full-time band, but every couple weeks or so, we'd like to get out and play. And
So you're a couple times
Keep
a
it going.
month. And
a couple times a
yeah.
month, I'm sorry, yes.
And you guys are probably on that same circuit as a lot of the other bands here in town. I've seen, I follow you guys
In
on
the
Facebook.
rotation.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're a new band trying to get out and get your name into it, I mean, it can be difficult, but to be honest, I mean, if you've got some good links, good music that you've put together, and because you can follow this town and there is a ton of places that offer live music. So you get in rotation by saying, hey, I'm going to.
Well, you got to partner up with the right people. I mean, what I found out real easy is that, if you put the show together, you're going to get involved, and finding artists that follow you, that like you to start with, helps, because then you're in that same kind of feather, so you can do a lot of things with many people. It's hard to do it with just a few people. Your existing fan base, your brothers, sisters, cousins, moms, your wives, they'll only be able to pimp you up so far before someone says, please shut up. We've heard about this guy. So, it's those people outside of that you have to go. You mentioned Jimi Hendrix a few minutes ago. I just to bring that into clarity, where one of our questions was, your influences. So you Jimi Hendrix, Incubus, you obviously been playing for a few decades music. Well, let's start over here to the right and just tell us what influences your particular music. And then maybe when we're done, is there a specific style of music that you guys play that you enjoy better than another?
Yeah. Okay. Jimmy was definitely an influence for me. Of course, the Beatles were too, and I know that may sound cliche for everybody to say that, but God, they really were.
They were just a powerfully tight-ass
great.
group of musicians.
But oddly enough, too, I always liked these kind of obscure bands too, like the School of Fish and the Hoodoo Gurus, and just these guys that you never heard of. I'm like, God dang, these guys are friggin' great. And so that always kind of influenced me. It seems like for me, I had a lot of influence that way, from, the classic rock to alternative rock and pop, and just a lot of that really seeped in for me. I just appreciate it all.
Was that because that's what you wanted to listen to, or was someone around you in your life growing up that was playing that a lot around you?
Well, and that's exactly what happened. I have 3 older brothers.
Okay.
And they're the ones that first kind of brought home these Jethro Tull albums,
Right.
Cream albums, and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I love this, and
Yeah.
and so my brothers are really the ones that kind of influenced me that way too.
Yeah, in 1976, your freshman year, everyone got a copy of Cream, didn't they?
No kidding.
Yeah, right there. Like you're going to school, you get a copy of Cream.
Exactly right too.
Yeah, I mean, they don't make any secret about it, but I'm the youngest in the band. I was born in 1980, and but the thing is, because of my parents, especially my dad, I came upon his like vinyl collection when I was a kid and stuff like that. So a lot of my music that I listened to came out, well before I was born, and for vocals, I just love those, like, I won't say screamers, but I love Robert Plant. I love Steven Tyler, just the ones that just go out there and luckily I think I have a higher voice register. So it's fun to just go out there and just blast out like some Zeppelin on stage. And I just love those singers that just belt it out and can rock and roll like that. So, I was also a child of the 90s. So a lot of the grunge that came out, for bass wise, one of my favorite bands is, Stone Temple Pilots. Red Hot Chili Peppers, my top favorite band of all time. I'm not going to pretend that I can play like Flea. But anyways, Stone Temple Pilots, their bassist, Robert DeLeo, one of the most underrated bassists, I think, just kind of like closing my eyes and just listening to all those bass parts, kind of like, filtering it out. That has been a huge influence on just his flow, just the way he kind of grooves into it. That's been a huge influence for me bass wise. But yeah.
When I turned 22, they played here in Kansas City at the old Sandstone, and they had two-story lava lamps on each side of the freaking stage. They were just so badass. I was like, man, I want one of those. I don't know what I'd do with it, but man, there's somewhere right now there's a two-story lava lamp in someone's front yard.
That
somewhere.
Is awesome. And a few years back, the drummer that used to play with us, John Ketterer, he got invited to play in a Stone Temple Pilots tribute band.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, you're so freaking lucky. And like about like a week later, he calls me up. It's like, hey, you want to play bass in that band? Because I guess their bassist that they had didn't work out. I was like, yes. So it didn't last too long, but it was just so much fun being on stage playing some Robert DeLeo bass. So
when you were talking about Robert Plant earlier, did you ever check out any of the Alison Krauss and Robert Plant duet album?
I did. Thanks actually to my mom. She's a big bluegrass fan.
Okay,
She was really into Alison Krauss and was it Unions? What was her band? I forget what band she used to. She had her side band, the bluegrass band. So I did check that out. I liked a lot of that stuff.
It's great stuff.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's really good stuff.
All right, Mike.
Oh, I would say, let's see. As a kid, all of our family liked music. My dad liked music. Back in the days, he'd go see Horowitz and Rubinstein concerts back in, more than a few years ago. Even try and sneak backstage like I've done several times. Concerts through the years. So
it's genetic.
We all like music.
Our dad would air conduct. Our guys aired guitar and air drum. My dad air conducted.
He was controlling all sounds and forces with his hands.
Yes, he was. So we always had the radio on, WHB back in those days, all those hits that came across
WHB.
there. Finally, my sister started playing guitar first. That didn't last long, so I took over somewhere around 16 or 17 playing guitar. As far as, at that time, a lot of groups going on, but I definitely would have to say the Stones were the group that I was focused in on. I mean, I can remember the record player actually used to be up against one wall of the kitchen. And I can remember sitting there at night with the headphones on, listening to Get Your Ya-Ya's Out, just looking to my side. And there's my mom and dad in the other in the living room watching TV. And I'm sitting there just getting goosebumps listening to.
Well, because of the guitar, were you like focused on Keith
Richards? Yes, I was focused on the guitar work. Yeah, I focused on Keith Richards a lot.
Sure.
Once I finally found out the mystery of the open G tuning and things like that.
He's a mystery.
Yeah. It was.
No doubt.
But I mean, they had a lot of other bands, but if we had to pick just one, I would definitely go with that.
Cool.
Yeah. Nice. I think I've seen every tour since 1972.
Wow.
I missed their last one here.
Wow.
So,
and they're still going on. They were on Good Morning America a couple of days ago interviewing them about their new song. And they have just recently, their body, their image, everything about them, they've just started the process of AI in them. So they can be a hologram, the vocals, they're going to create music long after they're, moved on to the mothership.
Wow.
So it's kind of weird that a new artist is still going to have to freaking compete with them in the future, so.
That's pretty cool.
Very interesting.
Especially
Yes.
on the new music that they put out.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, what does everybody think of that album? Just real quick.
I like it. I like the
Yeah.
energy in it, man. I mean, these guys are freaking 75 plus. And I mean, I think the energy out of that is
It has some good hooks.
as good as a young
Yeah.
band. I
Yeah.
mean,
It does. There's a lot of good stuff on there.
I agree.
Yeah, it was very digestible, and it was Stones.
And hearing them talk
Mhm.
about it, I
Yeah.
like that too. How the creative part of that took place. I saw Keith Richards on with Jimmy Fallon here, I don't know, a week or so ago.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I mean, great. I mean, of course, Fallon being a music junkie, he knew more about Keith Richards than Keith Richards did. But
That's true.
yeah, it was so good. And I mean, they feel, I think, privileged to do what they do, and I think that's what comes across.
Did you see the Ron Wood that was a couple days before?
I did. I missed that. No,
He
I saw
was,
it on social media, but I didn't see it.
It was really good too.
I think it was either Johnny Carson or somebody. They said when the nuclear bomb goes off, there'll be cockroaches
And Keith Richards.
and Keith Richards
Well, and Willie.
and Willie.
there you go.
So
Well, he said it right a long time ago when he said he was very responsible with his heroin use
well, apparently
because
so.
he's still alive.
Yeah. We used to joke around like when I turn 80, I'm going to do heroin, because you can't be responsible after that. You need to go anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Anyway.
So thank you for all that, fellas.
Hold on, we got one more musical. We started off with Jimi Hendrix. Was there some other musical influences that you had?
Yeah.
Said the Jimi Hendrix, that was just we just happened to open
conversation,
for that
yeah.
guy. But
What-
with him being my older brother, I grew up listening to his music. And so as we went into the bands and stuff, and then I had a neighbor guy who was going to college for music theory and stuff. And so he ends up with some heavy metal guys at his house
Wow.
and had this giant room to practice. So band practice there was a full rig like you were in a bar.
Wow.
Everything mic'd and everything max volume. And so I started getting into the heavy metal stuff and so
Cool.
I like a lot of stuff like Queensryche.
Sure. Love Queensryche.
I would love to have the time to study the style of Godsmack. I mean, God, I love listening to the drumming. In
Man,
that
their
'cause
freshman
it is
album was just out of the park.
It is so much fun to play. And because I like it. And then, so the heavy metal guys, I just sat in with them to get them going so that they could find the really drummer that they really needed because I was not good enough. And, but I got by. But they did find this guy, and this guy was playing a style of drums in the early 90s that, like Breaking Benjamin and Godsmack is playing now. He was doing that,
Wow.
30 years ago now?
Yeah.
This kid was phenomenal. It still owes me $1,000 too.
What's his name? Let's
Yeah.
put the shakedown on him. Okay. What's his
Brian
address?
Sherlack.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Sherlack.
He
send
thinks
a check
he
today.
thinks that I repossessed his drum set, but I didn't. Somebody else took it because he's apparently owed more people money. He's like,
Someone else has got it, dude.
It wasn't worth that. I would have made
If you're
arrangements.
still alive,
If you're
and
still
listening,
alive, bro, we're still
there's,
looking
Oh,
for
he's
you.
still
there's
around.
interest too.
But
Become a supporter today.
yeah, and then obviously, Rush.
Right.
I mean,
Rush.
no doubt.
Rush.
And even though I can't play the rudiments, I have no clue of time signatures, anything like that. I can hold my own on several like Red Barchetta. I can just about nail it perfect. I have no idea what the time signatures are. I just know what they sound like, and I can play it.
Well,
XYZ,
with the exception
XYZ.
of like say Keith Moon, I guess, and my early experience with drummers, it really wasn't until I started watching drummers that I thought were outstanding. I mean, when I got to see Phil Collins in Genesis, I mean, it was
No jacket required.
one of the best. I mean, and I got to see the band. I got to see Levon Helms. I mean, and you got to put him there
Wow.
with it as far as a vocal and drummer combined.
Yeah.
I mean, those are some great drummers that came out of that 60s and 70s era that But and Rush too. Rush was another band that I got to see. The drummer was phenomenal, but nobody got the drum solo like Phil Collins did and Mike Tyson. So that'll live on forever.
It will.
Okay, so that was my plug for Mike Tyson. I try to get that in every show.
What are you talking about? Knock it off. Jake, knock it off.
All right, let's go. Let's see. John, you had mentioned that you guys, when we first were talking before we got on the air, we met through Connie Smith, a friend of mine. Good plug to Connie. She is a music buff in this town. A lot of people know Connie. She's coordinated a lot of events throughout the years, but the one specifically was the Oktoberfest. But you guys like playing festivals in general, right?
Yeah, we really love that. And we played the Blue Springs Fall Festival not this year, but the last year. That was a lot of fun too. And really liked the festival deal, and we had
that's
done
the one downtown, right? That they put the stage out just like Lee Summit. Yeah,
exactly.
Do you guys as a band have like a festival rule? You guys don't break as a band, like don't eat too much before you perform.
Oh, it's the opposite.
Yeah,
just the
it's like
opposite.
drink as much beer, right?
Nick definitely likes to eat.
See how far you can go. Push that
Band
needle.
rule number 8. We don't do that.
Go ahead and disclose it, Nick.
Yeah,
Let 'em know.
they at least at both festivals actually, the Oktoberfest, that changed after a few years, but I mean we've been playing the Oktoberfest for like 10 years. At least for me, you were playing it way before that. But I remember the first time he was like, "Now we're not going to get paid," and he was like hesitant. He was like, "Oh, he's not going to do this." He's like, "We're not going to get paid, but there is going to be like unlimited brats and beer." And I was like, "Dude, that is all you had to say." And so
Here's a sample of the sausage.
that was the clincher. That was amazing.
Right.
This is a selection of the beer they're giving up.
And I a lot of people, a lot of musicians are like, I don't go on stage with a full stomach. I'm the opposite. I don't go on stage with an empty stomach.
You're going to burn fuel.
Yes.
Right.
And
Yes.
so, and even at Blue Springs, and we didn't even ask, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, after sound check, they were like, come to this building over here. We go in. They just had like pizzas stacked up and salads and sandwiches. And I was like, it's so beautiful.
You were weeping.
Somebody's got to do it.
So yeah, that's a big perk.
You might be
that's a
related to
great
like
story.
Shaggy and Scooby Doo.
I think so.
You
And
know.
I don't even smoke. I just, I get the munchies just, naturally.
Just from
So,
life, man.
Yeah. So.
Well, good.
Very cool.
One other thing about the festivals that's great, all you got to do is bring your guitar amp and your guitar.
Mm.
Most of them, yeah.
No lighting, no PA. So that's like, all right.
Well, with the ones you're doing, I mean, that's Rusty Jones. So he does
Rusty
those.
Jones, Professional Sound Systems.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's got that set up. I know Connie's used him for years, and
Right.
I think he even does Sedalia too, right?
I'm not sure about
He
that.
does
but
everything.
Ed used to do the ones at Oktoberfest
Yeah.
too, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Ed's the one that recommended Rusty, right?
probably so.
I think
yeah.
Rusty cloned himself.
Yeah, that's Ed.
Yeah.
Riggs.
He's keeping that
Rest
to
in
himself.
peace, Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Robert, why don't you hit that?
You know, when John got here, we were chit chatting, and Jay started this program, and he knew that I love music so much that I could be an easy sucker for him to talk me into doing this with him.
Amen.
But the reality of it is, I too have been a singer songwriter, and you get looked over, you get blown off. You'll be the last one to get booked if they can't get someone better. All those things, I've experienced them all. And, the thing about this show in particular is no one really truly knows how quite kick-ass these musicians are until you give them a platform outside of a drunk bar for them to hear them and see them and feel them and know what they are. And that's what the Kansas City Limits program is about. And earlier, you were talking about how thankful you are for the program. So that's really the meat and the potatoes of it.
Yeah.
You guys, your band, the Underdog, some of the fun I have in my band is always dreaming of the idea that no one knows I'm coming. If I have that one hit song and no one knew I was coming, will anyone ever hear it? Well, the shows that you're involved in, the people you talk to, this is just a platform. And a lot of the artists we've had, they've been able to take this show and slice it and dice it and use it to their best interest to get some more promotion for themselves. So, that's the other thing about it. We're trying to create a little package of I love you for you to tell the planet about you. So
appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
what other kind of things do you guys do to promote yourself right now that you're doing for the music you're doing? I mentioned you were, the constant, promotion's a constant, and you don't want to do it all the time, but what are some of the things you guys are doing to promote yourself to get you where you want to go?
Well, I think, playing festivals is always a great way because, a lot of people don't hear you normally or don't go to a regular, bar or something like that. So that's a great way to do it.
Does it give you street cred, you feel, when you do a festival?
I really do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a great word for it too. It's kind of street credit for that. And people talk or they see you a little bit or come up to you after a show and say, hey, I like that. You guys are doing original songs, right? I go, yeah, and so it's a good feeling to know, even if you touch, one or two people, that's a big deal for me at least too, just to know that somebody's hearing something.
You hooked me.
So
at the festival.
Thank you.
There you
that's
go.
Good. But that's what that's what keeps me going at least too, is knowing that somebody got some value or special meaning.
Said. I mean, you got a lot of people, you book gigs and you get in a bar, you get in a corner, you do your thing, you hope for a good night. The bar owner hopes for a good night, everybody's, doing that same thing. Festivals are a little different. It's a different animal, especially those like Robert has the Briarfest. It's in its 8th year. So, if you can pull out 1,000, 2,000 people in a night to come out, and those people have never heard of you, right?
Right.
Yeah. Granted, there's a lot of people that are there for all other festival festivities and things that, the music is just kind of white noise to them. But there are a lot that spend the time and focus and like, wow, that's some good music right there. Let's go listen to that. So, yeah, I think you can attract some people if you're going to do a festival for just brats and beer. There is a marketing hook to it that I think that goes along with that.
I say you up your ante, though, next year.
Yeah, and we are getting paid now, which is like,
I don't know what other food products Germany or they provide, but let's really put some mind thinking about that. Maybe ask for like a whole pig.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Hey,
this year.
aim for the stars.
Right.
Yeah.
Can I get a keg of beer and a pig?
Right.
Right. And then I'll take the pig live, and it'll have other baby pigs. We'll do it to Duncan.
We'll just let Nick eat all that. We have a
men
horrible
here.
story for we all ate too much before a band job one time, and it was a disaster.
Tell that.
Long story.
Was it Mexican food?
No, it was the old Municipal Auditorium bar down at the Municipal Auditorium, the South End. It's not there anymore.
I wonder
Somebody
why.
hired us there to come in and play a birthday party. We went in, we killed it. The owners were like, "Hey, you guys are great. Come back." So they hire us back. Well, we got there early. They have fantastic food, Italian food and all this. We all pigged out. It was the absolute god-awfulest train wreck night ever. We fucked up everything. We didn't even play Brown Sugar right.
Really?
It was just, we were all looking at each other like, what is going on? None of us could play anything right.
No,
and then
I wasn't there, luckily.
Our middle brother
you
was the
weren't part
sound
of the
man.
problem.
We have a middle brother. He was a sound man the whole time.
He
And,
was constipated.
No, he was fine. He was just like, y'all pigged out too much beforehand. That's what he's the one that figured out, is because you all pigged
You're
out.
all sluggish, and your cholesterol is filled full of Italian sauce.
Kind of like the Chiefs yesterday.
Oh, they were
What happened?
sluggish.
Right? You just can't ever get
We're
a
all
handle
just
on
going,
it.
That's
what
right.
happened here?
Yeah, and not to talk about the Chiefs, but the thing about everyone has their on day and their off day. It's like when they're paying him as much money, the pressure for him, he wasn't, they said he was sick. But, when you get $554 million, you're like, I better suck this up, man. So, and that's what he tried to do. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
It is.
Well, I think with musicians, though, everybody has to remember they have lives. They might be fighting with their girlfriend or their wife, or, they must have had mom died or something, going on in their life. I mean, they do, for the most part, suck it up and get on stage. And
They have to.
It is what it is. Some days you're going to be, spot on, and there's going to be days where it's a fucking struggle from the get-go.
Every days you're constipated.
Very
And
accurate.
then you got the shits, and you got to get off stage. Those are
God.
those are
God,
bad
that one
days,
has
too.
never happened.
Yeah.
You haven't eaten that burrito Larry's.
So,
Oh, Lord.
I want to go back real quick on the the festivals. We were talking a little bit about the Oktoberfest and Blue Springs.
Yeah.
Have you guys done any other festivals here in town, or have you traveled?
Those were the two main ones that we've done. Although I guess we did
Lenexa
do
Public Market
Yeah, we did.
Festival. I don't know if that's
Lenexa Public Market, September 8th, I think it was. They needed a band, and it's like they called us. Well,
Yeah,
thanks
that's a
to
cool gig.
Actually,
Yeah,
thanks
I like
to
that. I like that venue.
it's a good venue, and luckily Teresa Deaton,
I love
another
Teresa.
sweetheart, by the way.
TNT band. Yeah.
When they
And,
called to book that band, they called 816. No, we won't give it out.
Oh yeah,
No. Well, just you guys can be booked for anything, right?
yes,
Yes. And I didn't see here, but we've got an email address and you got the Facebook account.
yes.
So jdirons007
Correct.
They can reach out to you, and you're affordable, and you'll
Yeah.
travel within what, a day's travel. You'll go to St. Louis, maybe.
Oh, if the money's right, sure.
Okay,
you know what?
excellent.
We'll do a lot of things for that. Well, okay, hold on. Not a lot of things, but some
Yeah.
things. Draw the line somewhere.
I thought you hired us to play. No, I'm building a fence.
Right.
So, and then Facebook is the Underdogs KC.
Right.
Is that
Correct.
attached to Instagram or no?
No,
No. Okay.
not at this moment. I got to get our tech wizard on
Oh,
that for sure.
website?
So,
We'll get it.
No
we'll
web.
get it.
The Facebook.
Yes.
Just Facebook.
Yeah,
That's a great way
Gotta
to
get the
contact
kid to
us,
fix
too.
that. part.
Okay, great. Again, Robert, we're here in the studio with who?
We're with the Underdogs.
The Underdogs. When I hear the Underdogs, you know what that reminds me of?
It reminds me of the 1940s cartoon.
Exactly right.
Yes.
With the pill.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's right.
And they were all dog characters. You know?
I can't believe you're old enough to
Listen, dude, I had a babysitter, so maybe watch it. But I will tell you this: I had a crush on the female dog reporter.
Yeah, was it
girlfriend.
Polly or
Polly?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was
Oh,
good.
she was. I did
She was
too.
a fine
I
looking
did
dog
too.
woman.
God, she was a good looking dog.
Yeah. And I will tell you, you know, I had a radio program in the late 80s, early 90s, and I would play the Underdog theme song leading up to the show. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that was a freaked out show. There was also Bullwinkle during that time.
That's right.
Oh yeah, Bullwinkle
Yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Popeye with his spinach.
He pulled a rabbit out of
Yeah.
my hat.
So, but you know, the Underdog, the thing about that cartoon, it was like, you know, it was really about like, everyone thought you had to be bronze or whatever to really have something successful. Not that it has anything to do with the way you guys named your band, but you know, everyone's really rooting for the Underdog in one way or another, you know, because they've been the underdog in their life. We meet a lot of musicians, you know, some are in their 20s and 30s, some are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. You know, it doesn't matter what age you're at, as long as you are feeling like you are coming for that fan and you're making that sound the way you want to sound. And, you know, again, no one knows you're coming. Everyone's underestimating you.
Right.
I listened to some of your music. I didn't get a visual, but I will tell you guys are super tight. And that comes from experience and playing with lots of people for many gigs. So I definitely was impressed off that. And the vocals, who does the predominant amount of the singing?
Probably me.
Yeah,
So-
great vocals. Not the ordinary average vocals by any means. You can hit all the notes in between. So just you know, no one knows. If no one knows about you, they're going to know about you now. The Underdogs. And thanks for listening. If you're at home in your car, podcast, check us out. We have many Kansas City Limits radio programs. Not to mention the one we're doing today with the Underdogs.
Talking about radio and podcast, you guys were on the bridge not long ago.
90.9 The Bridge.
Who are you with on the show?
So I had actually sent in some music, just kind of like, oh man, I don't even know if this is going to happen, but I sent it in, and Michelle Bacon
Sure.
actually responded, and
Sizzling
another
bacon.
sweetheart, by the way.
Yeah.
And she passed that on to Robert Moore from the Sonic Spectrum show,
Yeah.
and text or message just
We're
via
big
Facebook.
fans of the bridge.
The Bridge. We
Me-
love John
I am
Hart,
too.
John
and
Hart,
Bob
absolutely.
Garrett, and
Love those guys.
Michelle Bacon has obviously been a force to reckon with there.
No
So,
doubt.
Indeed.
And
Yeah. Well, so that the song was the Here Today, Gone Tomorrow? Was
Yeah,
that the song?
That
Okay.
was one of the songs. The other one was High Above the Stars. We had both songs played
I gotcha.
on his show. So
And that'll lead right into your number 3 question there, Robert. There it
Future
is.
recordings, EP and LP or singles.
Yeah.
What's your
Yes.
plans?
So I know I definitely want to do some more recording. And as a matter of fact, Soundworks might be a great spot to do that at.
They
too,
are
right?
a professional group of
Okay,
guys.
after
Andy's the
talking to
best.
Kevin Jackson
Yes.
and these guys here, it's like, okay, yeah.
Now, you didn't know that Kevin Jacks was going to be here, and you've known
I didn't-
Kevin for decades.
Well,
Kevin Jacks, just so if you're listening at home, he's a behind-the-scene individual that's helping out here with the studio in Kansas City.
There he
Limits.
is back
Kevin.
there.
There he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
He just
so
released from
you know,
prison.
tell us how you know Kevin, and keep it clean.
Okay, I'll try to.
Okay.
So,
Same cell.
I don't know how many years, I don't know, maybe 20 plus years ago, right? And so we practiced at Chris's house, who was the drummer for the Visitors for a long time. And Kevin came over a couple times, didn't you, Kevin? And we just kind of jammed in the basement there and did some original work. And that's kind of how we met each other. And I know life got busy and things, kind of evolved and changed. And I was really happy to see him today. As a matter
That's
of fact, I was
great.
like, yes.
That's awesome.
So
That's
it was
awesome.
kind of a neat little a roundabout wheel there to.
It's better
Go
than
full
the opposite
circus.
effect, running into someone that owes you like
That's right.
$17 for the last 30
Right,
years.
that's
They cut
right.
you off. They drop you off at someone's apartment and left.
Yeah, and then
You never came back, dude.
with interest too. It's
Right.
like, dang it, yeah.
But you guys you've got enough songs to come into the studio and try to put something together? Something new?
Yeah, I'm sure we do. Yeah, and one song that I really want to re-record is actually one of Mike's songs called "Looking for the Light," and we do have an older recording of it, but I just think we can do a better job, especially at a good studio.
Is that a
this.
song about a power outage?
No.
Yeah.
Could be.
Actually, yeah, we've got more than a few songs
Oh,
that
yeah.
we'd like to re-record, plus some newer stuff that hasn't even made it to the studio yet.
You're
so
right.
it's about time to get back and do that. It's,
Especially with these guys here too, with Nick and John here too.
The assembled
Especially
talent.
Nick. This guy can sing. Trust me. This guy is a great singer.
Actually, I did. Actually, the last time I saw you was on the stage at Oktoberfest, and you guys were. It was hotter than hell. Remember? I think you guys were
And
in
you guys
shorts
were
as well.
sausages. Yeah.
So yeah, and I did get to hear you sing. You have a great voice.
Yeah.
So well done. You guys were real good that night, or that actually was afternoon when I saw you. Yeah. So.
Have you guys ever been chastised for EP, LP, or like the differentiation between the two?
Not really. And you know what? I almost think it's better to put songs out, like a couple singles or one or two singles
Right
at
on.
a time, and then kind of later on drop an EP or a LP instead
You are
of
smart
instead
on.
of just bam, with 11 songs or whatever, and
Yes.
everyone's going, I don't know.
We
that
agree
is the
completely
style
here.
of
Yeah.
Throw out.
they call that cascading. And there's an actual algorithm to it that brings the people that listen to your first song back into your second song. If they dug your first one,
Yeah.
it taps them on the shoulder again. And that's the way to do it. In years past, when there wasn't such a mass amount of music you could put your hands on,
Right.
and you wanted to make the value of what you were selling pertinent to what I'm charging you to buy my album, bands felt compelled to provide you a lot of material on that album. Well, now you don't have to do that anymore. And in fact, in most cases, you might have the gem in one of like 14 tracks, and it gets overlooked because there's like 11 other songs that are really good. And you're just like, damn, no one even liked that song. I thought it was the best one. Well, it's because they couldn't digest it all.
Yeah. Agreed. For sure.
Yeah. So you're
it's just-
thinking about it smart.
You know what? I think it really is the way to go too. It just makes so much sense
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
and Andy will concur, I think, on this. Is
Concur, Andy.
Different days in the studio, right? Give you different vibes, right? So if you're
it's
planning on trying to do all this stuff, and one big, I think that a lot of times hurts the band or hurts the song anyway.
I couldn't have said it better. I mean, every day is different too. I don't know if it's, sometimes like, oh, maybe it's the barometric pressure or something, but you just sound different, or, you wait another day or two and it's like, God, I got it finally. But you really hit it on the head with that too.
So you guys, again, we're in the studio here today with the Underdogs. We have John Irons, Nick Fakis.
Got it right the first time. That was
Nick Fakis, Mike Dobbins, John Dobbins, and we are privileged to have you guys here on the show. Thank you for taking the time to come and visit with Robert and I.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
And Robert, I'm going to let you take us out of here.
Okay, then. Remember, be good to yourselves, be good to others, and be good to musicians. Thanks for listening to Kansas City Limits Radio.
Amen.
Amen.
Here's a song called Here Today, Gone Tomorrow. Another day, another way, another place to wish and play. The world is spinning round on a rock in an astroplane. A shooting stars and so many people we meet along the way. With the sunset, the moon rise, starts a brand new day. I don't know just where you've been. Oh no, no. I don't know just where and when, my friend. I can't see what you have seen in sorrow. What's here today is gone tomorrow. Everything is just time we borrow. A drifting cloud, stormy winds, Mother Nature slowly begins. Every day passes by like a bird in flight on the wind. Make the best of your time, 'cause it's all you just might find. Catch a moment and hold on tight till the stroke of midnight. I don't know just where you've been. Oh no, no. I don't know just where and when, my friend. I can't see what you have seen in sorrow. What's here today is gone tomorrow. Everything is just time we borrow. I don't know just where you've been. Oh no, no. I don't know just where and when, my friend. I can't see what you have seen in sorrow. What's here today is gone tomorrow. Everything is just time we borrow. Everything is just time we borrow. Everything is just time we borrow.
It's a song called Looking for the Light. Running here and there, looking everywhere. I'm trying to find my way. I'm looking for the up and down this road, back and forth to go. I'm wearing out this road. I'm looking for the seems like I've been gone for so long. Seems like I can't find my way back
for the light. Yeah, looking for the light. Looking for the light to shine right from my eyes. I'm looking for the light. Yeah, looking for the light. Looking for the light to shine right from my eyes. Every move I make, every step I take, it always seems to me I'm looking for the. Shouldn't be so hard, it ought to be clear. I don't want that much. I'm looking for the. Seems like I've been gone for so long. Seems like I can't find my way back home. I'm looking for the light. Yeah, looking for the light. Looking for the light to shine right from my eyes. I'm looking for the light. Yeah, looking for the light. Looking for the light to shine right from my eyes. Down this road, back and forth to go. I'm wearing out this road. I'm looking for the. It shouldn't be so hard, it ought to be clear. I don't want that much. I'm looking for the. Seems like I've been gone for so long. Seems like I can't find my way back home. I'm looking for the light. Yeah, looking for the light. Looking for the light to shine right from my eyes. I'm looking for the light. Yeah, looking for the light. Looking for the light to shine right from my eyes. If it makes you laugh, like a photograph, people are pigs it seems, people are pigs, sweet dreams, high above the stars, high above the stars. Biggies taste real good with tangy barbecue sauce. High above the stars. High above the stars.